It's time for chess brilliance. Like the video and subscribe to be part of our journey. This is a book move. The opening is called King's Pawn Game.
Control of the center with f5, preparing to develop other pieces and potentially creating space for the bishop on c4.
Knight to f3 is the best move.
This is a book move. The opening is called Bishop's Opening, brilliant defense.
Pawn to d3 is excellent. This defends the bishop and pawn on c4 and f4. Knight to c3 is best. This defends a pawn on f4. This develops a knight.
Pawn to c6 is best.
Knight to f3 is the best move.
Pawn to d5.
Developing the bishop to a strong central square, putting pressure on black's position and preparing to control the pawn to d5 square.
Bishop to b4 check is excellent. This develops a bishop. Pawn to f5 is best.
Bishop to d2.
I played bx-d2 plus to pin the knight on d2, forcing Daiki to choose between capturing the bishop or moving the knight, creating a fork that puts pressure on the black position.
I played queen captures on d2 to challenge Daiki's pawn structure and create a potential weakness on the queen side. The move also pins Daiki's knight, making it difficult for him to defend against potential attacks.
Pawn to f5 is the best move.
Pawn to f4.
Kingside castle.
Knight captures on e5 is excellent. This captures a free pawn. Pawn captures on d5 is best. This is a trade.
Queen to e7.
Pawn to f4 is best. This defends the knight on f5.
Pawn captures on e4 is the best move.
Kingside castle is good. Pawn to d4 is best.
Pawn captures on d3 is the best move.
I played knight captures on d3 to challenge black's pawn structure and prepare for potential counterplay on the queen side. The move also pins black's knight, making it difficult for them to maneuver.
Bishop to f5.
Rook to a1.
I played queen to c7 to prepare for the potential pawn storm on the queen side, pinning the black knight on pawn to c6 and supporting the pawn, while also putting pressure on the black position.
Knight to e5 is the best move.
I played knight to f6 to challenge black's central pawn structure and prepare for potential pawn breaks on the queen side. The move also pins black's knight on f6, making it difficult for them to attack my position.
Knight to c3.
Queen to b6 check is best.
Queen to e3.
Queen captures on e3 check is best. This is a trade.
Rook captures on e3.
Knight to b4.
Rook to e2 is best.
Rook from file to e8 is a prophylactic move to prevent black's potential pawn storm on the queen side. By playing re8, I'm also eyeing the pawn to d5 pawn and preparing to potentially push d4, gaining control of the center and creating space for my pieces to develop.
Preparing to develop the queenside pieces, rook from file to e1 aims to control the pawn to d5 square and potentially create a pawn center, while also eyeing the black pawn on f5, setting the stage for future pawn breaks and piece development.
Bishop to e6.
Bishop captures on e6.
Rook captures on e6.
Knight to c4 is best. This defends a pawn on b12. This attacks the pawn. This move gains a tempo.
Knight captures on c2 is best.
Rook captures on e6 is best. This is a trade.
Pawn captures on e6 is best.
Rook captures on e6.
I played knight to d5 to attack black's pawn on pawn to e5 and prepared to develop the rest of my pieces. This move also pins black's knight on d5, putting pressure on the pawn and potentially creating a weakness.
Knight captures on a5 is best. This attacks the pawn. This move gains a tempo.
Rook captures on f4 is excellent. This captures a free pawn. Knight captures on c3 is best. This is a trade.
Knight captures on b7 is best. This captures a free pawn.
Knight from file d to e3 is a solid move, attacking black's pawn on pawn to e5 and preparing to develop the rest of the pieces. It also pins black's knight on f3, making it difficult for them to move without exposing their king.
I play pawn to h3 to challenge black's pawn on pawn to e4 and prepare to develop my kingside pieces. This move also pins black's knight on f6, making it harder for them to attack my position.
Rook to f1 check.
King to h2.
Rook to f2 is a solid move, supporting the central pawn on pawn to e4 and preparing to develop the rest of the pieces. It also pins the knight on b4, making it harder for black to attack the pawn on f4.
Rook to e8 check is a check on black's king, forcing them to respond to the threat of a potential rook sacrifice. This move also pins black's knight on j8, making it difficult for them to escape the check.
King to f7 is best. This attacks the rook.
Knight to d6 check.
King to g6 is the best move.
Rook to e6 check.
King to h5.
Rook to e5 check is best.
King to h6.
Knight from file c to e4 is inaccuracy. The opponent can play ruy-lopez. Pawn to a5 is best.
I played ruy-lopez to put pressure on black's position and create a potential pin on their knight, forcing them to respond to the threat. This move also opens up the g file for my rook to potentially use later in the game.
King to h1 is a prophylactic move to prevent black's potential rook left on the king side, maintaining kingside pawn structure and preparing for potential counterplay on the queen side.
Knight to d4 is an accuracy. The opponent can play nf7+. Rook to e2 is best.
Knight to f7 check is best. This defends a rook on f5.
King to g6 is best. This attacks the knight. This move gains a tempo.
Knight to h8 check is the best move. The game is over. It ended in a draw.